Hey guys, it's been a few weeks since I made a video, and it's been a rough few weeks. Still a little hoarse, but basically, I've officially gotten diagnosed as a full-blown asthmatic, and over the past 4 months, it's gone downhill really badly, and got to the point where every single night I was having really bad coughing fits for like hours on end, and gagging and wheezing and couldn't catch my breath, and there was a few times I thought I was gonna have to call 911 because it was so bad. This was happening every single night, started happening during the day too, and just got to the point where I was like, I need help. Something's very wrong here. I can't say that I'm surprised. Most of my family are asthmatics. Both my parents were asthmatics. All of my siblings have it to some degree. Both of my grandfathers had it. I think one of my grandmas had it as well. Most of them had it because they were smokers. Not my siblings, but the rest of them. I've never been a smoker, never gonna be a smoker, but that kind of left me feeling like, why me? Why is this happening to me? I don't know, and I don't know why now. I mean, yeah, my parents used to smoke in the house around us all the time when we were little, and eventually they moved it outdoors when I started having my heart problems, but, it's been a long time since they smoked indoors around us, so I don't know why now, why it just randomly decided this summer to manifest, but I believe I've got allergic asthma because I also developed allergies really bad to I don't know what. Honestly, I am really not sure what it is, but I developed them really badly this summer, and I'd never really had them before in my life, except for like food and medication allergies. I had a couple of those, but other than those, I really didn't have any. So, since they both popped up at like exactly the same time, that pretty much tells me what I need to know that yeah, it's allergic asthma and not just regular, but so I mean, if I ever figure out what exactly I'm allergic to, may or may not clear up the asthma, don't know. But regardless, we're working on getting it controlled. I now have a corticosteroid. I'm on Advair. This is my inhaler. It's pretty purple. And I've got a rescue inhaler. I already had one of these because I had a limited degree of asthma before. I had it triggered by cold air. Like if I even took so much as like one breath of cold air, I would have an asthma attack. And exacerbated by exercise, but those have been my only two triggers until recently. So this is kind of a new thing for me as of the last few months, with it getting just progressively worse and worse. In the last few weeks, I caught a cold almost, I guess about a month ago now, and it just made this thing snowball so bad and got to where there was like always the asthmatic phlegm in my throat like 24/7, to where like the past couple weeks I could barely speak. Like I could not get more than a couple words out without this nasty gurgly sound. It's still there a tiny bit, and it's starting to go away since I started my treatment, but it's a process. It'll take a while to build up in my system and fully get there, but I'm only on my second dose, and it has helped so much already. I cannot even begin to tell you. If you think you might be asthmatic, don't even wait on it. Just help yourself out and get prescribed some meds for it, because there's no reason to suffer. If I'd known it would be this easy to get it under control, oh my god, I would have done it months ago. I didn't know it was this easy. I thought there was gonna be a long process with blood work and chest x-rays and the spirometer and the whole thing. They didn't do any of that. I literally went in there. They did the vitals. They asked, the nurse asked me what the symptoms were. The doctor came in, also asked me my symptoms, listened to my chest for my breathing. That was literally it. Apparently they could hear wheezing when I didn't even realize I was wheezing. Then I thought I was okay when I was in there. No, apparently I wheezed 24/7 and didn't know it. So that's new, I guess. But, yeah, so they put me on the 250/50 dose of Advair, which is the middle dosage. There's 3 dosages. There's the 150, the 100, 100/51, there's the 250/50, and the 500/50. It just has to do with the dosages. Since mine's kind of moderate to severe, they put me on the middle one, and I may or may not be on that for life. I don't know. We're gonna do a trial run, see how I do, see if I can try to come off of it after a while and see what happens. If it flares right back up, they'll probably stick me right back on it. If it seems under control, they might switch me to just a corticosteroid instead of the corticosteroid / long-acting bronchodilator thing, which basically is a much longer lasting version of this guy. So if you don't take the daily one for sudden asthma attacks, you still need the rescue inhaler for those. This one's more to try and help prevent them in the first place. So I've already noticed a huge difference just since the first couple doses. I mean, yesterday I took the first one because it took them a few days to fill my prescription. And you know how I said cold air is one of my triggers? I actually was out last night, and I think I was out for an hour or two in very cold air, and it wasn't until on the car ride home that I started having any trouble at all with my breathing, so that was a huge improvement, and that was just on the first one. It hasn't even really fully built up in my system yet. That was just on the very first dose, so I'm a strong supporter of this stuff. I mean, a lot of people are probably scared off by the warning, the black box warning on it, which, to be fair, is the most serious warning they can put on a medication. There is the risk of apparently death in asthmatics for using it, but it's a very rare risk. Apparently, what can happen, I researched this to find out why that's on there, because I didn't want to start taking it if, I didn't know what the risks were and understand them. But apparently what can happen is your asthma can worsen over time, but it can mask the symptoms to where you don't know it's worsening, to where you'll eventually have a sudden asthma attack that's so severe that the rescue inhaler won't work and you can choke to death and die. So basically the idea is to keep an eye on that and to periodically take a day or two off from it and see where you are with your asthma and see if you're okay or if you're worsening or if it's the same, or just keep a general eye on how it's doing. And yeah, so as long as you know that, if it starts worsening, you switch to something else, you'll be okay. But yeah, I mean, it was a little scary hearing that, but then when I heard the numbers on the incidence rates, it was like 0.06. It was like 6 people out of 10,000. That's pretty low. I've been on other meds before with a higher mortality rate than that and been okay, so yeah. So it's like, given how huge a difference it makes, I think I'm willing to take that chance if it means I can breathe and I can speak, because it was almost like living like a mute for a few weeks, because that's why it's been so long since I made a video, because I've had a bunch of ideas for videos, haven't been able to make any of them because I couldn't talk. I mean, even in like the last couple of them, I was constantly clearing my throat. That was that problem beginning to manifest and start, and I didn't know that it was starting. I'm still hoarse, not from that, but from how much coughing I'd been doing every single day. I'm still hoarse right now, so it's coming back. It'll probably take a while, given it was 4 months of intense coughing nonstop, so it could be a while before my voice is fully back. I don't think I'll be singing for a while, unfortunately. I may try, but I don't think it'll be good if I do. But yeah, there's that. I mean, another huge difference was I was taking my rescue inhaler up to 4 or 5 times a day, which, if you're using it more than 2 or 3 times a week, you're supposed to go to your doctor and like get your asthma reevaluated and treat it differently because something's very wrong and you're not supposed to use that often. That's how often I was using that, because it just was out of control and I didn't know what was wrong with me. I didn't know if I had walking pneumonia. I didn't know if my heart problems were getting worse, because some of the symptoms, actually all of the symptoms of that problem mimic asthma almost exactly if you look at them side by side. So I didn't know if it was that. I had a gut feeling it was probably asthma, but I wasn't 100% certain, so I was scared over it. But it took a long time to even get an appointment because this is a new doctor, and yeah, but it's been unfreaking real, basically, and I'm still trying to get acclimated to being able to breathe again, which is nice, but it's a process. It's still adjusting, but it's good to know that there are things out there that will help it. Because I was like, is this just my life now? Is this just how it is? How it's going to be for the rest of my life? And if it were that bad, and for how quickly it was snowballing, I was like, is my life not that much longer or something? I mean, I honestly was beginning to wonder if one of those choking attacks was going to make me die. Because most of the worst ones happen in the middle of the night, and if that were to happen, it could potentially happen. Nobody would know. Nobody would know, and nobody would be able to help me, and I'd be screwed. So, yeah, something had to be done to get this under control, because this got really out of hand really, really fast, and it scared the shit out of me. So, I'm glad that there's things like this out there. I mean, I was a little concerned that this was the same drug my grandpa was on for COPD. So, I was like, oh my god, am I in that much trouble right now? And it's not cheap. It's $300 a pop for that thing. And that's with a discount. Luckily, my dad's been really, really understanding about that, and I'm so grateful. I can't even begin to tell you. I mean, he feels guilty because he feels like he probably contributed to me developing it in the first place, which honestly is probably true, but I don't know why, again, just now it would choose to manifest other than any other time in my life, like when he actually used to smoke around me all the time. Now he only does in the car, which is still bad, and I'm trying to get him in the habit of not doing that around me, but yeah, that's about where that's at. See, I still have to do it a little bit, but it's not constant, like every few words, like it had been, and I can speak without this nasty, just phlegmy gurgle to my voice, which was disgusting, so. Oh, and the other thing that it seems like everyone has been asking me who hasn't had asthma, like, firsthand, or hasn't ever had it, like, controlled with a corticosteroid, all of them apparently think corticosteroids and anabolic steroids are the same thing. So I'm going to tell you guys the same thing that I've had to tell about probably at least 100 times in the last few days. Anabolic steroids are the ones that, like, athletes abuse and bodybuilders abuse to, like, get big muscles and get really strong and stuff. That is not what these are. Corticosteroids are just for bringing down inflammation, specifically this kind, since it's inhaled corticosteroids, it brings down the inflammation in your breathing ways. That's all it is. There's no roid rage, there's no muscle building action going on. No, it's not that kind of steroid. So, in case you were worried, like apparently a lot of people have been, but just hearing the word steroid involved in the name at all, it's not that kind of steroid. So, yeah, that. Although it kind of would be interesting to see what it would be like if it were, but no, it's not that kind at all, so. Yeah, it should be interesting to see how much this helps over time, and find out if this is what I'm gonna be stuck on, or if I'm gonna get switched to something else, and just, like I said, it's a process, and it'll be interesting to see where it goes. And if you guys have any tips or anything for asthmatics that have it moderately to severely, I'd be very happy to hear those, because any little thing that would help would be great, because I really don't even know where to start, because most of the people in my family that have had it haven't usually kept theirs under very good control. I think I'm one of the first ones who's even tried to, so if that tells you anything about my family, yeah. So if there's anything I should know, if there's anything I should be doing differently, I would say let me know. But yeah, I mean, obviously I don't smoke, so the biggest, like, usual factor that they tell people to cut out, I'm like, well, that was never a thing for me in the first place, so that one's a moot point, so I don't really know what else I should be doing differently, so if anybody knows anything, let me know, and I've missed you guys. I'll hopefully be making more videos soon for you guys, because like I said, I've missed it. And I have a lot of ideas for things I want to make and put on here, so hopefully I'll be getting around to those soon. So we'll see where this goes. Okay, bye.